This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I try to point these out, not just the stuff you see in music videos, but any of these things that are targeting kids, whether it's board games like the Ouija board or Magic 8 Ball, stuff like that, or Disney movies or music videos of, famous, so-called famous pop stars or rappers or whoever that is targeting our youth. Because it's important for the youth out there to wake up. They're the future. They're really going to be the front lines, not us. As we get older, these children underneath us, they need to know of God. They need to know of Scripture. They need to know of the enemy and be aware of what they're trying to do to us. And that's why I want to point this new app out, because this is just more of the same. I've talked about Instagram, how they're using Instagram, how they're using Facebook. They're using all of those different, I forget what the other one's called, Snapchat, all of that stuff to program people, to use sarcasm and comedy to deflect attention off this. Now, we know that they've taken the word Illuminati and they've run with it, right? At first, when stuff was breaking, and people were talking about the Illuminati, it was taken a lot more seriously. What they've done is they've taken that word, they've had celebrities joke about it, pretend to be in it, mention it in rap songs, mention it in troll and music videos, stuff like that, to desensitize everybody out there, to make them laugh about it, to make them go, oh, the Illuminati, like Jim Carrey said. This is all part of repetition, mind control, and desensitizing people. They are targeting the youth with this stuff. And you're going to see more and more apps like this atrocity, which is called We Are Illuminati Conspiracy Simulator Clicker. Now, what this is this brings up some of the things that I discuss, many discuss, and it plants seeds in the head of a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 12-year-old, whoever's playing this, because trust me, parents see this as some stupid little cartoon game, as something that's safe. They're not going to prevent their 6-year-old from playing this. So they're processing at a young age, getting these kids to think that all of this type of stuff that we're trying to expose is all a big joke, it's all a big spoof. They are going out of their way. I wish that people would see all of this stuff and go, well, why are they constantly mentioning it if it's not real? If people like me were talking about absolutely just something pulled out of thin air, why would you shine light on it? Why wouldn't you just go, oh, let that moron sit over in the corner? Who cares? Why did they have to group all conspiracies, things, talking about the government, corruption, secret societies, and they lump it in with UFOs and Sasquatch and all that stuff? Because they want people, and they're afraid that people are going to see these things, wake up, and they're going to lose their power here, and that there will be some type of uprising. That's what they fear. Otherwise, why is a channel like mine having such a tough time uploading videos? Not just me, so many others. No matter what they're talking about that has to do with this controlled government, with the shadow government and the secret societies, all of us, right? And people go, oh, these guys are crazy. Well, if we're so crazy, why don't you just leave us alone? Why don't you just say our channels are parodies, allow us still to run ads, allow us still to upload, and just say, oh, they're a huge, they're just a comedy channel. They're crazy people. Because they're so afraid of what we're saying and what we're doing. They're afraid they're losing their grip on people because we're waking more and more people up, all of us, collectively. So here's a game, again, called We Are Illuminati Conspiracy Simulator, where they show you, here you'll see some of the screenshots, right? You see a guy who looks like the Monopoly guy. It says, control the puppet rulers. They are all Illuminati and you are too, right? That's part of the thing you see with like some of these big YouTubers who have, channels and they do ridiculous stuff like, make an Oreo pie or, bathe in Oreos or bathe in cheese puffs. They do ridiculous stuff. Then they'll have a video, conspiracies and the Illuminati. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. They're some of the dumbest people to ever breathe or walk the face of the earth. They always do that stuff, right? They go, oh, Illuminati. Oh, I'm Illuminati too. You must be Illuminati. So they're planting those types of seeds that everybody's in it. It's a big conspiracy. We're all making it up. They go on in these screenshots. You can see control everyone from the shadows, right? You can see obviously they use the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. Then they have influence minds through the Wi-Fi, right? So they're kind of playing off of HARP and radio waves, and even what I was talking about with the 5G, which all of you are probably aware of. Many good channels out there, talk about that and touch on that as well. talking about how they use these radio waves, how they use HARP, how they use CERN, how they're using these things to control minds, control behavior, as well as the chemtrails, as well as the chemicals in the food. So this is spoofing off it, saying, ooh, they're influencing your mind through the Wi-Fi, right? Because it sounds cuckoo, it sounds crazy. So they put that in, they go, oh yeah, oh, they're controlling my mind, as if mind control is real. That's the one thing they don't want you to know about. But it's amazing that humans can sit and they can see animals and how they react in certain environments, right? I say it all the time. You watch the National Geographic Channel or any of these documentaries on animals, and they'll go, look, if we do this, right, this is how the lion's going to react, right? If we have a group of sleeping lions and we send out 10 zebras in front of them, guess what? They're going to get up, they're going to go chase the zebras, and they're going to eat them, right? That's their behavior. That's what they do, right? They're hunters. They you could look at any animal and the behavior, they study it. But for some reason, humans are so prideful, they don't think that they can be manipulated because they've been told, well, you're the dominant species. You're the big dog. Everyone else is beneath you. Yeah, until all of a sudden you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's about 10 lions on the loose. You're not a big dog no more. You're at the bottom of the food chain, and you're probably going to be eaten in about 10 seconds. But this is part of how they take these things, right? They desensitize people from it. They make a mockery of it, of mind control being real and stuff like that. And people just won't sit back and go, hey, I started to really like this song after I heard it 20 times on the radio. Like a 40-year-old man will be like, oh man, the Backstreet Boys, that is lame. That is, well, we can't even say the word anymore, but G.A. blank, right? Oh, I wouldn't listen to that crap. Yet all of a sudden, they hear it 20 times. They hear it at Target. They hear it in the car. They hear it at work. They hear somebody else playing it. Next thing you know, the guy's in the shower, and he's singing the Backstreet Boys. Show me the meaning, right? And he's like, what am I doing? Well, that's because all of the repetition from hearing it over and over and over, it has been pummeled into your head. Doesn't mean all of a sudden you like the song, but now the song's stuck in your head. That is mind control through repetition. And just think of how they do it with everything, right? Even how you pick your favorite color, your favorite sports team, your favorite brand or whatever. And I'm not saying us because we're awake. I'm saying people out there, or when we were asleep, right? There are certain things that right? Oh, I like the Giants and this person likes the Jets. Well, why? And oh, my favorite color is blue. Why? Well, it's all from stuff you've been influenced by, but you've been pushed towards it. You're getting pushed towards these things through the mind control. So mind control is real, and they don't want you to think that it is. Then they go on to say in the game, plant fake news in the media, right? Of course, because they can't get enough of this fake news. They are threatened beyond belief by people such as myself because we're doing such a good job of waking people up. So planting fake news, mind control through Wi-Fi, talking about pop stars, world leaders, and aliens. It says brainwash the pop artists, right? And I'm noticing now a huge trend on YouTube is that covering any of this stuff, like Saturday Night Live, music videos, like which is stuff that me and a lot of people cover and have covered. All of a sudden, you can't upload that. They have some algorithm in place where they put their video through the filter, and if you even have screenshots of it, they're automatically blocking it. So because they know it's an effective way to wake people up. Then they make more mockery of people. They have the make friends with the reptilians, right? Because they've taken the whole demonic possession, the whole demons thing, right? And they've tried to lump it into aliens and shapeshifters. And then the term reptilians is a trigger word for people to roll their eyes and discredit anything, right? You can go up to somebody and start talking to them about, the Freemasonry and secret societies, right? And you can start talking about the left and the right and how it's controlled. And people, it's an easier way to get people to start waking up, right? But they want people out there who hear stuff like that to go, oh, you sound like one of those reptilian guys, right? Because immediately they'll discredit what you're saying because they've done a unbelievable, they put an unbelievably large amount of effort into using trigger words like reptilians so they can automatically throw that out and then discredit stuff that we say. And that's what the word Illuminati has pretty much become, a trigger word. Because people hear it and they roll their eyes and they think it's a big joke. They don't really know what's behind it. But that's because the mainstream media has done that. And they've done it for a reason, because they're afraid. They're afraid of people like me. They're afraid of people like you. And that's a fact. They just are. Not going to hear them admit it. But the proof's in the pudding. And of course, they talk about controlling the largest companies in the world, controlling everyone from the shadows. And they just pretty much desensitize the youth out there because the only ones who are going to be downloading this are kids, teenagers. And this is just a good way for them to put all those seeds in their heads of, oh, controlling their minds through Wi-Fi. Oh, reptilians. Oh, they control pop stars. Oh, they control this. And then they just go, oh, all these people are just crazy lunatics. And that's how they do it. That's why they're talking about it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bringing it up. They would just be ignoring people like me, people like you. They go, who cares what they say? Right? They're just crazy people who have nothing better to do. But they don't want you questioning the news. They don't want you questioning repetition. They don't want you questioning agendas where you see it done through repetition, like what we're seeing now with feminism, what we're seeing with the race war. All of this stuff that's popping up, which is not a coincidence. This massive amount of division they're causing. So this is a stupid game. I just wanted to cover it, that they're putting out there. And the reason they're putting it out there is to continue to try to grab the minds of the youth, desensitize them from this stuff, and make a mockery through sarcasm and things like that into thinking all of this stuff is fake. And they're really just going to end up getting their souls led to hell because they're going to believe in this system, which is the Antichrist system that we live in, a system about make as much money as you can, be as powerful as you can, be someone, be famous, be rich, be a superstar, right? And that's what everybody gets pushed into. And then all these people have in their lives is heartbreak because they don't realize they can never achieve that. For starters, they should never want to achieve it. It's all worthless. But they can't achieve it unless they're involved in these secret societies and they're networked with these people. But the zombies out there, they rather just be rats in a wheel and continue to convince themselves every day that they can be as big as they want to be. You know, I'm not saying it's not impossible. You know, some people message me and they say, hey, you know, I want to play soccer or something like that. And, you know, I know people out there believe everything in sports is controlled and rigged. And, you know, it's all you can do is speculate, right? But I mean, if you're born 7'10" and you want to be a center in the NBA, you might have a chance to do it, okay? Because you're 7'10". But, you know, realistically, trying to achieve these earthly things gets you nowhere. And at some point, they're going to tap you on the shoulder and they're going to say, well, join us or we'll slander you in the media, ruin your reputation. And most of these athletes, most of these, you know, people who become famous, who come in without being blood related in some way, come in that way if they are extremely talented and some elitist sees them and wants them, you know, to work under them. And maybe they want to, you know, do all sorts of disgusting things with that person. They'll bring them in that way and breed them and teach them the secret stuff, have them take their oaths and do it that way. So again, I'm going on a rant off topic, but this is just more of the same crap that we see. These games, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, they're all attacking this stuff for a reason. It's not because, oh yeah, people are going to want to download this Illuminati game because it's so trendy. That's what the stupid person will tell you. It's because they're desensitizing everyone through mind control, through repetition, and through using sarcasm, comedy, pointing out the obvious, and then making it into a satire. So be aware of those things. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.